Okay, here we want to use the second partials test to find the saddle point. Now remember, some critical points yield saddle points, and the saddle points are neither relative minimums or relative maximums. All right, they're called saddle points. So we have a formula here that we'll look at, but you have to look at your notes. So I want us to look at this one. So the first thing we're going to do, we need to find our derivative with respect to x. So we're going to have 2x minus 2, which comes from this x squared and this minus 2x. All right, and we're going to use this to find our critical points. Of course, we set this equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. All right. Now we find the second derivative, and the second partial derivative is going to be 2. Okay. Now on this side, we find the partial derivative with respect to y. So this is going to be negative 2y minus 4. Once again, we're dealing with the critical points. We set this equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 2. So this is what we have. And now we find the second partial derivative, and that is going to be negative 2, because this was the derivative of negative 2y minus 4. Now, if we remember the formula, we have to do one more thing. We have to find that the partial derivative with respect to xy, which we don't have. That's going to be 0. We don't have anything in our function that has the x and y, when we use this test. So once we come back down, now if you remember the formula, you have to remember this. This is going to be 2 times negative 2 minus what? 0 squared. The 2 comes from here, the negative 2 from here, and the 0 squared, which is going to give us a negative 4. Now, if we remember, if negative 4 was less than 0, then we had a saddle point. Okay? This was D, if we recall. If it's less than 0, we had a saddle point, And our saddle point, as I move up, would be A, B, and F of AB. So let's look here. So our saddle point, which we already know, our critical points, that's going to be 1 and negative 2. I'm going to come on my scratch paper, and the last thing we have to do is plug this back into the original function. So that's going to be 1 squared minus negative 2 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 4 times negative 2 minus 4. Okay, this gives us 1 minus 4 minus 2 plus 8 minus 4. This is going to give us negative 3 plus 6 minus 4, which gives us a negative 1. So this is what we have. Our saddle point is 1, negative 2, and negative 1. This is the point it's not a relative min or a relative maximum. It's a saddle point.